All right, well, welcome back to game two here at the Quarantine Cup at Pepega. Looking forward to this. I have my color caster with me tonight. Fez, how are you doing?
Doing great. What a fantastic game one. We had a great early game, and then all of a sudden, they were just able to turn it around. Melon boys just weren't able to keep up with the pace of the game after a couple of bad team fights, and then a Baron throw into the end of the game, basically.
Do you see any champions getting banned away that were picked last game?
I can't imagine Oriana or Set gets through this game. Set was just integral in the ball lane, and there goes the Senna. I mean, Senna's so strong because you can pair so much with it. And there goes the Vayne one more time.
Yeah, I think almost if you ban the Vayne, you might as well ban the Jinx as well.
Right.
That does really seem to be the sort of like main champs that Etem plays. So if you invest in one, you might as well invest in the other.
Yeah, absolutely. And, taking people out their comfort picks at this level of play is always so important. There goes the Warwick pick one more time. Warwick's just a strong jungler. You get all the heals. Cinder gone one more time, taking away that control mage. She's such a powerhouse in the mid lane with what she can do. And the final ban for Melon Boys is going to be the Jhin. Strong laner, great poke, probably a comfort pick, but we'll see what this last ban is for Orange Slices. And there goes the Olaf.
Yeah, so in terms of power picks, all is available. Both of these mid laners also play that sort of control mage style. So Victor and Oriana probably going to get picked again, I would have thought, honestly. They do really like these two champions. Ornn, as I said, are already available. Really strong pickup in there. Can pretty much blind pick it into a lot of things. It's very difficult to really go too aggressive in there. Potentially could see a Kalista into it top lane. That can really destroy it in the early game. We'll see if anyone has the confidence to really do that and challenge the Ornn scalability into the game.
I agree with you entirely that the Kalista top pick is it's so strong into these tanks that can't really get onto you because you're so slippery with the passive. But I'd love to see something like a Fiora. Fiora really does destroy Ornn because of how predictable his CC is. So if you're able to, riposte at the right time, you just destroy him in the lane. And we do have a Morgana pick coming out, and is that a Mordekaiser? Mordekaiser is strong into the Ornn. You're able to really get the passive shield going. Once you get Conqueror stacked on the Mordekaiser, he's just so hard to trade with. And if you're not going to trade, Mordekaiser does scale well because all you have to do is isolate that key target in fights, and if you can kill them in the Death Realm, great. If not, they've been out of the fight for a decent amount of time. And then we have the Leona pick coming in. A little bit more aggressive than the Braum, and so we'll see who they pair with that. And kind of like you said a minute ago, the Oriana does look to be being picked.
Yeah, I think you definitely do want to lock this in now because it will probably get banned against you. That was sort of a mirror match of the last game. So we'll see if that does end up getting secured. Definitely running down the clock though, so deciding in and amongst the team. I do like this Mordekaiser pick up in the top lane. Ornn can do fairly well into it actually, and we're definitely looking to expect to see that Abyssal Mask upgraded with that Masterwork item fairly early on as we are facing two AP solo lanes.
Right, last game we had an issue of there was too much AD on the enemy team. And now I'm wondering if it's going to be the opposite this game. And there goes the Trundle. Trundle's so strong into a line of tanks. Ornn just gets shredded once the Trundle ult goes in. And so we'll see if potentially the set ban comes out. There's not a real big reason to pick Set. He may still be able to be picked in the jungle. And there goes the J4. Boomslang dominated with that J4 in conjunction with the Oriana. And I just don't think that Melon Boys wants to deal with that one more time.
Yeah, exactly. I would potentially like to see a Jinx ban now for this last ban. Just finish that off, and that will be the Jinx ban. So well drafted as well. They sort of picked up that Trundle against that Ornn, so that was wonderful. And then banning out that last AD sort of pool of their 10, so he's going to have to be a little bit creative with this pick. Also, Leona is quite an aggressive champion, kind of only has one pattern of going all in with that aftershock massive tanking stats available to him, but really needs to set up someone. Potentially could look for an MF, relatively easy to play. You can just sort of sit back and do that bullet time as well in fights, and that'd be really nice sort of addition over that Victor AoE as well.
You know, Kaisa banded to a quick Xayah pick. Xayah's a very safe laner. Once she hits level 6, she's able to just ult away from a lot of danger. And that's really important into the Leona because level 6 Leona is such a threat. And then we have a Sivir pick coming out. This is a supportive style AD carry. You're really there to scale up, and then in the mid-game fights, you're all about pressing R and letting your team go in for you, trying to get some boomerangs into the team, get that W. And then we have the Kha'Zix's last pick. You know, the
just got exciting, Faraz. Just got exciting.
With the Kha'Zix's pick, a little bit different from the Lee Sin, but a nice assassin to go with a lot of what the tanky team that Melon Boys is putting together with the Mordekaiser and Leona. And then that a Lee Sin counter pick on the other side. We'll see if Boomslang is able to navigate the Lee Sin a little bit better than they were able to on Melon Boys. The Lee Sin wasn't a bad pick, did pretty well. Boots did a good job being a little slippery. That early game was really strong. We'll see if he's able to do something similar on the Kha'Zix. But I'm still worried about the Ornn pick. Ornn is just so strong, and we'll see if they're able to really find a way to shred him this game that they weren't able to do last game.
Yeah, again, we see these drafts. My mum brought Orange Slices, definitely looking for that wombo combo again with that sort of structured front to back team fight. And you've got this creative style coming out here for the Melon Boys as well. Kha'Zix definitely looking to threaten, be sneaky, get that assassin sort of play in there. Mordekaiser as well definitely wants to break up a team fight, just pick that one-on-one available to him. Sivir definitely looking for that team fight and that 400 CS win condition definitely available to them, so they can definitely scale into the game. Nice pick there into the Morgana support as well. Definitely can stay safe with that spell shield.
Right, and you know, you just hit that Sivir R and you let the Mordekaiser run it whoever they want to, straight ult them into the Shadow Realm, and we'll see if Mordekaiser is able to, you know, is he just going to be the kind of Mordekaiser that is taking someone away from the fight, or is he killing them in that Shadow Realm, getting the strength from the ult passive and then running over these team fights?
So that was a draft for Game 2 here at Pepega. Looking forward to this at the Quarantine Cup. We will take a short break and be right back.
Yep.
Yep. Hello and welcome back to Game 2 against my Mumbo Orange Slices, who won Game 1, and Melon Boys here on the blue side. They're looking for a little bit of redemption, trying to get into this game number 3 here at the Quarantine Cup of Pepega. My name is Victor. Casting with me this evening is Fires.
Hello, hello. Yeah, I'm excited to see how this game 2 goes. A little bit of different picks coming out here. At first, I thought it may have been a similar pick with the Orianna Victor mid lane, but now we see the Kha'Zix coming out. A little bit different than most Kha'Zix. You know, he's going Phase Rush instead of the Electrocute, looking more for that slipperiness in the team fights versus the straight burst. Besides that, I'm excited to see what Etan can do on the Sivir. It does counter the Morgana a little bit with the spell shield blocking, the binding. I'm also excited to see what the Xayah Morgana combo can do. See if they can really take over this lane. And see if the Ornn is just going to run over the game like last time.
Yeah, might definitely have a little bit of a hard time free farming, but definitely looking for that Abyssal Mask first item coming out there. Definitely going to be a fairly free farm in the mid lane as well, as they did have very high CS numbers up to that sort of 15-minute mark before it all sort of broke open.
Right. And we'll see if the Orianna can have the same, level of play she had last game. She did a great job in all of those fights, and Mr. Borg really took over the mid game to the late game with the shockwaves. And we have a little bit of a pause. Looks like Mord has tons of ping.
Yeah, a little bit of a ping spike there. They should be getting back into the game fairly quickly. I just want to talk about this full clear blue side for the Kha'Zix as well. Obviously, with that isolation damage, does mean that he can take down single target tamps fairly quickly. So, do just want to secure them. It does mean he should look to potentially go for a play bot lane, particularly when Mr. Anonymous is that sort of like level 3. Maybe look to blow some summoners.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the Gromp is just an easy target for the Kha'Zix with the isolation damage. We'll see if he's able to come bot, if he's not too low after the full clear. Or maybe he'll run mid lane after taking the 3 camps. Potentially see if he'll try and make a play, get I am Melon Lord a little more ahead than he was last game, get him some early kills. A little bit of trading going on up top lane. Nothing too serious, getting some grass procs going. And we'll see if this early game has the same level of action that it did last game. Because last game...
Yeah, actually, nice binding landing on here at 10 level 2. A little bit of a poke there, but that means that all in is now risky for the Leona because they could just very easily turn onto the half-elf Sivir.
Right. And I mean, that's the strength of the Morgana, right? You land a binding and there's just so much follow-up damage, especially with the level 2 Xayah. The W passive, or not the passive, but the W on Xayah is just so strong for early trading. And then if you're able to combo the Xayah feathers with the binding, that's tons of CC lockdown for the laning phase. Get some poke going, really take over the lane.
So playing a little bit of Australia lanes here, as it's definitely top side heavy here for I'm Here Again and Boomslang. Looking to take that early scalpel now. He's looking for them and he's got double buffs. Melon playing on the right side of the lane there with the Kha'Zix, looking for that aggressive. Going to be able to get the slows down as well. Mr. Borg doesn't have any mana to really follow through on this. Now Boots no JS, goes onto Boomslang, forces the flash, matched as well. Secured there with a safeguard, onto Mr. Borg, running for his life, but first blood going over to Boots no JS.
Now Boots making another early game happen. He did it last game too. Really good early game pathing from him. Great counter ganked by the Kha'Zix. And that's kind of the benefit of the phase rush, right? You're able to stick to those slippery targets like Lee Sin, who's just able to safeguard away. But again, We'll see if he's able to translate this. He wasn't able to translate it too much in the last game outside of the early game, and I want to see him be a little more aggressive with leads he has this game.
Yeah, exactly, Fares. He's one quite smart as well, is he already swept a ward there in the bottom lane. He was looking for something a little bit creative there. Trying to make this play onto the bot side. We do have an exhaust actually for Peggy, so looking for that little bit more defensive, like stop that all-in potential that Etan and that Leona engage can have in the bottom.
Right, and that's the thing with Leona. You want to all-in and you want to burst, but if you can slow down the burst a little bit with the exhaust, then there's not a lot of follow-up damage from Sivir, because once the Boomerang Blade is out, once the W passive's kind of fallen off, you're kind of just your regular ADC versus Xayah, who has, you know, the Q, the W, the E, you just get rooted in place for so long. So we'll see if they're able to really take advantage using that exhaust, or if the Ignite's just going to run over the lane eventually. And we see a little bit of an invade coming out from Kha'Zix. Like I said earlier, I want to see him using his early game advantage from that first blood, and see if he's able to translate that into more of a lead.
Boots.js has to back away as the Ornn now has rotated down to sort of match that process. The Infernal Drake going to be the first one onto there. Eten and Mr. Anonymous have pressure in the bot lane, so maybe you can look for that. Kha'Zix can definitely solo that out if he does have a lead, which he does.
Right, you know, the early AD coming in for Kha'Zix is going to just let him power clear these camps, because once you isolate whatever camp you're working on, you just clear it so quickly, and then Dragon is always isolated. And with the way Etan and Mr. Anonymous are pushing this lane, it may be easy for the Kha'Zix to hop into the Dragon Pit without stepping over any wards and just quickly steal it away from the enemy team.
Boots.js is actually having a phenomenal early game here right now. He counter-ganked successfully. He's now securing the second Scuttle bot lane on cooldown and invaded successfully there in the top side, drawing all this pressure down for his team, really creating these windows available to him. He's invading again. He's going to potentially ward up this blue buff here in the bottom side of the map. Has to be a little bit careful, but he can probably win this 1v1 as he does have a level lead. Jumps forward aggressively onto Boomslang. Joe doesn't have flash as well, but he's already zoned out from his own jungle. The collapse potentially on here as well, but Melon Lord just backing up his partner there.
Yeah, and I mean, what can the Orianna do in the early game? Orianna doesn't have too much damage early on, and yeah, they were able to push the Kha'Zix off of the blue buff. But a lot of times you don't want to be fighting super early with Orianna. She is level 6. Mr. Borg does have the ultimate available to him, and that may have just been what deterred the Kha'Zix off the blue buff. But they have so much vision down in this bot side river that it's hard for Boomslang to make a play down here.
The important thing, Fares, is that TP just got used here for Muffin. I'm Here Again has his available, so that might sort of slow down this aggression happening in the bot side. Mate, we'll see how they have the foresight to be able to do this. But Dragon started up here for Boots.js, who's persisting in this bottom pattern.
Right, and kind of what I said about the vision. On the other side, you know, Melon Boys don't have a lot of vision down here. And so if Kha'Zix is able to just sneak this away, it's going to be great for the early game because no one can see what he's doing, and I Am Melon Lord is out here helping him kind of finish that up a little quicker than he would have been able to solo. And that's a first Infernal Drake for Orange Slices.
Yeah, nice bit of a window here with Melon Lord basing to be able to get this early Rift Herald if they wanted to do that. Mr. Bull could rotate and help. Maybe looking to trade here for the Dragon. We'll see if he does go to there. He can't really go bot side as that jungle is already cleared. So he has a little bit of a window to do something, potentially get that vision up the top side. But he's just going to force a base and a reset for himself.
Right, and yes, the TP is down, but the other issue that I'm Here Again has so much pressure in this top lane, which is the issue. Because not only the TP down, I'm Here Again could just walk bot lane and not miss out on too much, and he already has one plate down in the top. And so there's already so much pressure being made by this Ornn. Yet they're even in
Melon Lord gets shockwaved into Boomslang. Has to force the flash away already. Now they safeguard back. They've allowed time for Boots.no.js. He actually just gets the leash on the top scuttle as well. He's got 3 scuttles now in the game. He jumps forward aggressively onto Boomslang. He's hunting his prey. Mr. Borg just in retreat there, and they just missed their window to be able to secure this rip out. As it now is going to go over. Mr. Anonymous roams up there on Liliona as well. They have the numbers. They're trading for plates in the bottom.
Right, and you know, the Ornalt was fantastic in that fight. If they had been a little bit in a better position, that would have been an amazing Ornalt. 3-man onto the enemy team, but Boots.no.js is just so ahead compared to this Lee Sin that Lee Sin sees him and he has to just run. And that's what you get with an early game first blood on such a strong champion. And it does look like Muffin disconnects. He was complaining about ping early.
Boots.no.js definitely looking threatening on this champion right now.
Right,
looking to take this early rift, having secured the dragon as well, so having an immense early game, as we said previously. 3rd scuttle going over, getting a really nice XP lead slowly over. That should develop into level 7 to 6 again already. And plates onto the bottom lane, definitely looking to get this Zyre ahead, but nicely farmed out by Eten, managing to secure himself that BF and that Cloak of Agility, looking to go for that early IE into it.
You'll see if Zai is able to pick up some similar items. This, I can imagine it's going to be either the Warhammer plus the BF sword, or the same thing, Cloak of Agility plus the BF sword. It really depends on if Calvin prioritizes the cooldown or not.
Yeah, Essence Reaver, wonderful starting item for Zyra as well, with those plates. Definitely going to have close to the goal to be able to base for it as well.
Right. And I wonder if Eten is going to go the Essence Reaver first route, get that early mana regen going for him, or if he's thinking about going the early Infinity Edge route. Because you do have this massive wall of the Ornn in front of you, and maybe that Infinity Edge will be the nice little edge he needs to get going. And we do see a reconnect from the Mordekaiser. See if Muffin can calm down his internet a little. I know everyone has problems these days, with everyone and their mother staying at home, playing video games, watching Netflix. Hopefully he's able to stabilize in this game in terms of ping. His jungler is having a phenomenal time in the early game, and we want to make sure he's able to continue that.
Can you imagine this kind of lockdown like 20 years ago? You've got your VHS collection, and you've only got like 20 movies in that VHS collection, and you're just like repeating them. Like the ability just to, as you say, like put on some Netflix, all of that online entertainment, all these RPGs, MMOs available. Definitely a lot of content to be able to create. But wonderful that events like this can start to take place. We've had a lot more clashes recently as well, so Riot are definitely putting their foot in to create that entertainment. Wonderful for them to be able to create that online tournament as well, to be able to get players and all the LCS and the LEC sort of going again. So definitely wonderful to have this outlet of this online community, and great to see everyone coming out for it.
Right, and I mean, it's great that there's just been a lot of people coming together during these times, and like you said, organizing these tournaments, and at the same time, this has been a great slowdown in a lot of people's life where they're able to really take time to themselves. And yeah, a lot of people are struggling, and it's difficult for them. And we need to be thinking about them too. And it's great that there have been so many things going on these days with donations and stuff like that. But on a more positive note, as you're kind of talking about what would have been like 25 years ago, can you imagine what it would be like, 10 years ago, without just the variety of things we have today? And let's be honest, Animal Crossing came out at the perfect time for everyone to have just so much time to kill. I know I've been playing far
it's a good game for that, Faraz. It's a good game for that.
And it looks like we're starting back into the game. So, is Mordekaiser back, or is he... Yeah, it looks like he's back. I didn't see it say he reconnected, but let's hope that he's able to stabilize right now. Make sure he doesn't get too behind this game. We do see a Rift Herald going on to Boots.no.js. Continue that early game dominance.
Yeah, exactly, Fares. With the duo top lane, though, you'd expect them to try and like look to take a couple of plates off this top tower, fairly healthy currently, and then drop the rift, take that down all the way. Obviously, mitigate some of that armor stacking available to them. A TP there, though, coming out for I'm here again. That means that the duo will go bot lane. They're definitely splitting the map here. Early Rift Herald as well means that they aren't quite going to be able to finish this target, but unless I'm here again is able to actually defend this 3v1, it will slowly fall. They definitely get the advantage. Mordekaiser in the bottom lane, Muffin and Karnak going to be having to contend with that 2v1. Maybe in the mid, though, Boomslang has a little bit of a flank position here on Melon Lord.
You know, I would be a little worried for I'm here again. He's been itemized.
Boomslang fascist forward onto Melon Lord. He actually managed to secure it. Mr. Bork has to run away, so it's all going to be him. Level 6, level 9. He's a little bit down. He's going forward to BootsNoJS. BootsNoJS, can he look for that 2v1? Has the flash available. Not going to be able to use it. And that'll be going down. Melon Lord falls.
Yeah, what a great gank by Boomslang, you know. Get behind him, kick him. That's all you got to do at the Lee Sin. Really get him out of position, and then BootsNoJS just wasn't there soon enough to counter that gank. And we'll see if Lee Sin can now recover a little bit. You know, he was so far behind in terms of items compared to the Kazakhs, but now with that kill, maybe he can recover a little bit, maybe match the warrior in chance. He's already ahead on Boots, but maybe that's just because BootsNoJS just hasn't backed quite yet.
Something to note, Fares, is that it obviously takes time to take that rift, and they were trading that for bottom lane plates, and then they use it top. And it looks actually that this 3-man stack here for the bottom lane, Muffin and Karnak just doesn't want to step up. I'm here again, managing to just lane 2v1 here in the top lane. Very nice. As the trade now, the 3-man stack here coming out for Orange Slices. They're looking for the flash. Comes here for I'm here again. Now he's running away from the tower. Lands that knock up though. Slowly going to fall. Forces the flash, but that's going to get secured. And another flash as well. Massive play here for I'm here again. Manages to trade 1-1. Tower is going to fall there, but it's already been answered in the bot lane.
So kind of as I was saying before, the little team or the little gank mid, Ornn didn't have any armor up until just now. He was able to grab that the armor, the chain vest, and was able to. That was just what he needed to make sure when he got dove that he wouldn't be just giving away a kill, which was my concern earlier. And one thing you were mentioning was the loss of pressure by taking that Rift Herald. If you didn't notice earlier, the lane states before the Rift Herald was dropped, Orange Slices had more plates taken, so their lanes were a little more dominant. And that reminded me a lot of last game, where Boots had this great early game, but just wasn't able to translate it into more lane pressure. And while he was able to do some great invades, get that dragon, that wasn't translating too much into the actual lanes. We'll see if Boots is able to take this next dragon away from Orange Slices. He's posturing for it, making sure to clear all the vision before he goes in. But the red side does have the Scuttle Crab there, and that's just a little bit of extra vision for them to dissuade the Kazakhs from going in on that dragon. And we see a little bit of trading going on here. Morgana throwing out some bindings. Just a little fight for vision going on in the river. Kazakhs is still so strong, and so you don't want to quite just phase check him yet.
No Boots, though. Very reliant on this phase rush to be able to dip in and out of fights. A little bit slow around the map movements. The thing that I want to highlight right now is that Infinity Edge finish for Etan. Just to that BF sword, obviously prioritizing those boots, getting those free little boots there, the slightly magical coming out from that tree definitely helps out on the inspiration. Mr. Borg just clearing mid as well. That gives them the license to be able to take this dragon. They've got this river control available. Bind actually going to go down onto BootsNoJS as he doesn't have that mobility to be able to fight for it.
Right. BootsNoJS really coming from his name, I guess, not one. But wow, that binding really I saw that binding.
Flash forward aggressively, lands a shockwave. On Melon Lord flashes away as well. Now they're going forward. It's the Leona in the back line. Falls first there too. Mr. Borg. Now they go forward. Featherstorm nicely to retreat into their BootsNoJS, managing to get a little bit of damage onto Calvan. Cookie, he's going to fall first. Now BootsNoJS forces the Zhonyas out of Van Peggy. Now he gets a little bit aggressive. Has to retreat there as well. Neither the Ice Band onto Etan. And that'll be the fight as it all square in the mid lane.
Right, you know. That's the power of the Ornn in that early fight. You know, I thought the fight was going to go the other direction. What a great flash shockwave by Mr. Borg, but there just wasn't any damage to follow it up. And like you were saying, the Xayah hasn't picked or finished the Infinity Edge just yet, but the Sivir has, and that lets the bouncing blades just do so much work in these fights. And then Boost No JS really just zoning out and Peggy on the side, almost killing her, having to get the stopwatch out from her. And it's just, this is what I wanted to see. Some early game plays from the Kazakhs, who's still strong, and making sure in the team fights he's able to do a lot. And that was great. You know, the Xayah did die a little early. Calvin did get caught out and then just was almost blown up immediately. So hopefully we'll see where this goes. But now it's just back to farming the lanes, trying to get some towers here. The blue side already has the top tower taken down, and so we'll see if they're able to get this bot tower soon as well.
Yeah, Orange Slice is actually having a sniff onto this top side, maybe looking to contest that blue buff, but it will go over to Melon Boys. This Rift is going to be the next objective here. That is why they are all stacked into this top side. 2v1 down bottom, Mr. Ball just being able to wave clear very nicely, so they kind of need to pull this trigger as they do have the numbers. No teleport for this bot lane pair as well, so they can definitely do something with this Rift up.
Right, and you know, that's what's great about Orianna. You can just safely clear waves from far away and not have to do too much to try and defend against the two laners. And then I thought they were going to go straight for that Rift Herald. They had all the pressure top, but maybe they were scared to boost No JS coming out of the shadows, really just popping someone on the enemy team, because he has that first lethality item, he has the Dirk, and if he can get onto a squishy target.
Yay. Playing weak side into the top lane, looking for the aggressiveness onto the Mordekaiser. Also really nice spell shield by Eten on the bottom to get away from the shockwave. Manages to survive that attack with 3v1 into the top lane. Very nicely played there by the Mordekaiser, using his flash to get away from that. But this will be Rift Herald going over to My Mum Brought Orange Slices.
Right, Morgana did make the Kazakhs have to hop away by using those shackles. Just playing so aggressively at this point, the three-man top. Great flash by Muffin Incarnate to get away from that gank, but even then, that's all the pressure top lane going straight to the red team. And then bot lane, like you said, great spell shield by Eten to stop himself from getting caught by the shockwave. And this Sivir scaling so well now. 1-0.
Oh, he's got the shockwave back off. He just used it off cooldown as well. Having to use that solar flare to retreat. Eten gets so low as he takes an extra tower shot. But Mr. Bug, definitely, he's running out of mana, but he's defending this 2v1 for a very long time.
Right, I mean, I get that's a caster curse. Complimenting Eten straight into missing.
Calvin Cookie has to flash away. Maybe he could have Feather Storm, but didn't want to risk it.
Right, and I'm liking what I'm seeing from Mr. Borg. Mr. Borg is doing a fantastic job in this Orianna, really playing around those cooldowns very well, making sure they're not in range of all the Leona stuns and CC, and really protecting that tower really well, giving the rest of his team the opportunity to go grab that Rift Herald top.
Yeah, exactly, Ferez. So we do have that third dragon coming out. This is going to be Ocean, so we're going to have that Ocean Soul coming into there. All that healing available for those tanks up here again will be very difficult to shoot down. Eten definitely can fire back 1, 2, and 2 on them. So looking strong. Got that Zeal into play there, stacking up those crit items. They have position. Call of Forge God gonna be used aggressively. Doesn't find anyone as it doesn't quite read where Mr. Anonymous is gonna go. I think they were going for the Leona. That's a big cooldown to use. Rift Herald's been dropped mid as well. They'll be looking for the tower. They're just gonna force this as well. Open up the map. Maybe look to rotate for this dragon as well if they don't get caught.
Orange Slice is really trying to catch back up into this moving back into this mid game. Maybe get
that. There we go. Double shockwave onto Boots No JS. Forces the flash away. Mr. Anonymous now on the front line. I'm here again, just defending this choke point as well. They do not want to give an inch here.
Right, and you know, are we having a repeat of last game where Melon's had such a strong early game but couldn't transition
Eten gets a wonderful boomerang, and Boots No JS goes into the pit, secures the dragon, gonna fall in the process. Mr. Anomalous gonna go down as well, but it's the victor damage. Melon Lord himself securing yet another kill over to Boomslang.
What a fantastic fight. Just great use of all the poke tools on their side. Melon Boys really knowing their limit on how to take this fight forward. And Peggy just, dropped immediately from the Boomerang Blade with the completed Infinity Edge and Zeal. Just so much damage coming out from Etan. And then standing in that cloud by the Victor, just blowing through the team. Great secure by the Kha'Zix as well. And, if Melon Boys are able to secure that Ocean Drake, that'll give a lot of room for, Muffin Incarnate to get a little tankier, not be able to die. And once he gets all these things going, I'm worried a little for the other side. But we'll see, because Mr. Borg has had such a phenomenal game, landing shockwave after shockwave, multi-man. I thought he had done a great job in that last fight, almost getting Boots No JS out, but now we have the completed Duskblade for Boots, and so he's going to be a lot stronger than he was before.
Yeah, a little bit light on CS in the top lane for Muffin Incarnate after their sort of lane swap shenanigans that's happened, but it's slow scaling into the game. I do want to say, like, if he does get that Soul coming out, he's going to be very unkillable for I'm Here Again. He's just not going to have the damage to be able to get through. But Boost No JS looking for something a little bit aggressive here, trying to be sneaky on the side. They're looking for this tower mid. They're kind of stacking, but it's in the bottom. Unavailed. Melon Lord just looking for this tower. Traded for the top, though, as Mordekaiser says, no, I can't really contest for that. I think he's having a little bit of connection issues as he's left the game yet again. We're going to have another pause. They are now unpausing. They are going to get back into this game, and we'll be all right here with the Quarantine Cup as a bind does land on the shockwave. Oh, that was brutal.
What an awful time to repause or unpause. You just walk straight back into dying immediately into that game. I feel a little bad for Boots No JS. I'm going to be honest. I mean, he probably wasn't super prepared for the pause to be over and then instantly gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely happened. Whether or not that was fair or not, it's all fair in love and war. And this is definitely war between these two teams, looking for that space in the playoffs tomorrow. This 2-day event, really nice. Got a little bit of a flank here coming out for Boomslangyo in the mid, but backed away correctly there, just being respectful of the fact that their jungler did just get absolutely blown up. Very low CD. Shockwave already back off cooldown, by the way. Mr. Borg, definitely no slouch in just using this ability on cooldown, just for that poke.
Right. Yeah, I mean... Oh. Give me...
Looking for vision onto the top side of the map. They're both sort of closing in there. Riven Control just getting wrangled back here for Mind Pump or Orange Slices. This one almost might not want to face check too much, though. Definitely respects the fact that the vision is no longer there. Lee Sin in the top side managed to secure that top tower for I'm Here Again. Boots No JS, level 11 going on to I'm Here Again, but he gets rooted there by Melon Lord. Boots No JS managed to secure the first kill. Now he jumps back onto level 11. The kickback going to be there just to disengage.
Right, yeah, I mean, the Victor W has so much utility when you can't clean up. And the little pause that Orin does whenever he's using the charge was just enough time to get locked down for Boost No JS to get the kill there. And great kick away from the Lee Sin just to survive. Great use of it.
Saved is there, but it's onto the Leona, it's onto the tank. Shockwave got to be used to get him back into the tower. Peggy has to flash away, going very aggressive there on the Morgana.
Yeah, and then the Boomerang Blade just picks her up after that flash. I mean, I saw what you wanted to do with the flash shackles, but you can't be doing that into a almost 2-item Sivir who's almost 200 CS now. I mean, this Sivir is farming phenomenally into this mid game. And once she backs for those items, I'm assuming she's going to come back with a seal item or even a BF sword to maybe accelerate into your next big AD item.
Phantom
Yeah, so that's the
Dancer
Phantom
and
Dancer.
Esquiva coming up third item. Dragon now coming up. This will be the fourth dragon of the game. Ocean Dragon number 2. Getting started here for My Mum Brought Orange Slices. They definitely have the map presence to be able to do that. Maybe look for a little bit of a flank here coming out for Muffin. He goes in. He ults the jungler as well, but I think that's already fallen. Actually, it was I'm Here Again. I think he actually ordered the wrong target. Probably didn't want the Ornn. But Boots No JS securing the kill onto Mr. Ball. He overextended in the front line. I'm Here Again gets left for dead. As now they're getting rooted. Boom Slang brings in Mr. Anonymous. The jump forward as well. Feathers fly as Peggy goes down. It's a rout here as My Mum Brought Orange Slices die for the Drake.
Yeah, I mean, who really wanted the end here, am I right? Now they're both teams are at 2 Drakes, so it's, I guess, a delayed soul point for Melon Boys, but at what cost, really? You know, this Sivir is scaling so well into these fights. Boots No JS is in and out of these fights perfectly. Just weaving in, getting the kills he needs, getting back out.
He's got aggressive though, into the shockwave and into the fire. He falls down very, very quickly, looking aggressively onto Boomslang. Boomslang still has his ult available, so he could look for a flashy play, but he doesn't have the flash. Maybe look to set up around this Baron now on the top side of the map for My Mum Brought Orange Slices. Losing that 5v5 definitely feels bad, but getting a kill back definitely worth in the long run. Oh, as a kill goes down thick and fast there. Melon Lord gonna be able to secure one back. Looking for a little bit of vision.
What was Aunt Peggy doing out there? You know the whole side jump. You gotta take a little breather there before you go in. And yeah, great pickoffs these games. I mean, the vision from blue side for a little while was great. And so it's a little died down now, and they have to resettle vision up by the dragon, or the Baron, I'm sorry, but I think that now they're just going to want to reset, use the gold they got from all those kills, and really try and accelerate themselves into the next 5-10 minutes of the game. And we'll see what comes out next in terms of items. I mean, we have a 5-0 Sivir in this game. And that's going to be a beast in these team fights once she's able to just get going and started.
Yeah, they're really getting ahead of the curve here. So Mr. Borg is using his shockwave well, but he also needs to start looking at now for multiple targets, really set up, wait, rather than just that one-man pickoff. Look for that big balloon engage there as well. Use the Ornn stats. He's now finished off those double items, already upgraded those Loser's Pulse as well, so a lot of mana and AP available over to this Orianna. Vision all about the top side now. Melon Boys in the river, they've got priority, but it's Boots No JS running away, using his Void Assault, backing in, just trying to bait as many cooldowns as he can, doesn't really want to hard commit. Oh, and Peggy gets so low just from the boomerang. Here's the engage. Mr. Anonymous looking for something. Misses the Xena's base. Shockwave just gets in the Leona. Now they're looking forward. I'm Here Again. Goes aggressively onto the Leona. That's going to fall. Etain gets exhausted in the back line as well. Has to run. He's got no support. Cookie is now going back. He doesn't really want to take that trade into the top side. Muffin going aggressively onto Mr. Ball. He's now going to have to tower dive for the kill though. The shield is there. The barrier baits him in and he's going to fall. Melon Lord into the backline as well. Mr. Borg solo off Muffin Incarnate. They're looking for it. They're getting it. Boomfang. Can he look to find anything? No, he can't. Boots JS manages to cut that out nicely. And it's all a bit of a reset on the map, but priority goes over to Melon Boys.
Brian, there was some interesting positioning by the 80 carries in this team fight. I mean, Etain was trying to be a flanking Sivir, maybe pick someone off in the backline, but you know, maybe if he just played with his team, that would have been a better fight. And Calvin tried matching that. He uses flash aggressively to try and team up to try and kill Etain in the backline, but it didn't work out. And then just exposed the rest of the team. Mr. Borg again, only landing a one-man shockwave in that fight, not really getting the same team fight presence that you want out of your Orianna. And so that may have been what really just didn't do enough in the fight quite yet. And Boots No JS was navigating that fight so well. really knowing when he could jump in and out of these fights so he wouldn't just instantly get popped before getting massive damage down onto the carries. I'm here again, just not having the same presence he had last game either.
Yeah, I mentioned it previously as well. We're looking for these now AoE ults from Mr. Borg, and he only found the shockwave onto Mr. Anonymous. He did go down, but that just meant that the cooldowns weren't there for the sort of remaining fighters that did get shuffled in. Maybe a fight onto the Drake here. This is the 5th Drake of the game. Another Roshan arrives onto the Rift.
Right.
And Slang looking for something, and TP as well. That's actually going to get definitely engaged upon now. They're onto the Ord. Mr. Bull gets a 2-man shockwave this time. Now he has to go defensive. Boots no JS secures that onto the back. Massive damage down coming on Melon Lord as well as he secures the double kill for himself. Flashes there for the Boom Slang. Gets dragged back into the fray. Now he has to kite and run. Double kill going over on the back again. I'm here again, who TP's in. Secures the damage down for his team. And that'll be the Drake going over, and potentially Baron as well. Eten falls for the first time in the game. They might not quite have the damage, but they can definitely push lanes.
Right, and this puts Melon boys into Soul Point. One more dragon, they'll have the Ocean Soul, and I can imagine that's really strong for them. You proc it so easily with all these champions, and with Kha'Zix, if you get into the team fight, poke down a little, take some damage, well, now you're just going to heal it all back up in your invisibility. So he's just going to be so much stronger if they can get this soul in. Yes, the Sivir goes down, so I'm not too sure they can take the Baron, but they just go straight to the bot lane and try and get that bot lane tower, or get at least pressure into that bot lane. And there goes the Essence Reaver done for the Sivir. 2 massive items plus the Zeal item, and it looks like he may be going Bloodthirster third. That'd be really strong here. The shield will protect you somewhat from the Orianna, who, well, being 5-2, just hasn't had the same teamfight impact that we'd be hoping for. And if the Sivir can last in these fights, I can't imagine that they'll just lose. I mean, they have, what now? A 6k gold lead, a 10 kill goal or 10 kill lead, and so I can see a world where Sivir just starts taking over for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, exactly, Fares. I would say maybe looking for that last Fistful again, didn't really prioritize that in game number 1. Has the chance to do it in game number 2. We're going to have doubles on his Hourglass finishes for the AP, and GA slowly getting finished here for Boom Slang as well. A lot of armor available onto this Ornn, so really does need a little bit of tank shredding available to really carry through these team fights. But they're definitely setting up. Melon Lord has the kills this game. He didn't in the last, so he's really punching hard now.
Right, and I think one thing to note is if Sivir can position a little better in these fights, then she's gonna have so much easier time getting those boomerang shots in. And like you said, Melon Lord last game almost had a lot of kills. He had a ton of assists, and now that all the kills are on him this game, he's really doing such a great job. 5-1 and 14. His AoE spells are just doing so well, positioning those really well in team fights, and it's given him so much power in these engages.
Boots no JS gonna have to get away from the shockwave used as well. That's a big cooldown yet again burnt. They have a really nice power play here as the bottom inhib is exposed. They don't have teleport on the Ornn, so they're going hard onto Melon Lord. Can they secure anything? Boomslang takes a massive chunk there from Boots as well. He has to go back to his team. Muffin Incarnate TP's into the fray as well. He's going to look for Peggy. Probably going to be able to secure that. He does aggressively. Now they've got the wave. They're looking to push in. 4v5 into the bottom. Wave into the bottom is going to be able to contest that bottom inhibitor as well as they're looking to push forward. They have the Baron buff as well if they want to rotate back to that. Might have to be a Hail Mary steal here. Coming out for Boomslang.
Yeah, I mean, what a great fight. The Orianna Shockwave again just thought he had Boots no JS in his grasp, but just a quick jump away from the Kha'Zix and he got away. And so that's another key team fight spell that just wasn't utilized to the highest use.
Boomslang gets jumped on already, and he's already just going to get burst down before he even gets a chance to try and contest. Really nicely picked up and played there. Coming out with Mr. Anonymous. They can reset.
I am so impressed by Boost no JS this game. Last game I was a little bit concerned because he wasn't able to translate his lead, but this game he was really able to. get from the early game to the mid game now into this late game with, being 8-4, really taking these fights where he wants them to go, and really giving his team the early game time to farm up and scale to where they are now. And, everyone on the team is so strong. 3-1-5 on the top laner, even after having those connection issues. Melon Boys are in a great position to take this game too.
Exactly, they are, Ferez. And we've only got 45 seconds left on this soul point here coming out for Melon Boys. They've got in the area. They're looking to clear out the Vision, push forward with it themselves. Peggy might get caught out here as well. Victor looking for a little bit of a pick. Maybe can get that move speed as well if the Sivir wants to go, but it doesn't matter. Just solo kill there for Melon Lord yet again. Pushing forward, getting that mobility, getting that move speed. Now Boomslang goes forward aggressively into the choke point. He doesn't want to do that. Flash forward there for Muffin Incarnate. Looks for it. Feathers over the wall. Manages to secure the exit. But it's Boots JS in the bottom side. Picking up that kill. Going forward now. Getting aggressive and does so successfully. I'm here again just on the front line. But all of his team is dead. That's going to get secured for the bottom. They've got the Baron. They've got the Indian. They've got the push. They've got the ace. And they've got the game. Going to Nemesis mode here in Game 3 here for Quarantine Cup. Really looking forward to this. Going to be exciting. Going to get the pro dropped out right back to you very rapidly as this game is going on for a very long time. Looking forward to the best of 3 though coming right here.